Absolutely.
No.
Yes.
Well, I think everything is connected, so to speak.
Yes.
Not really.
We're making it too hot, too dry, and too wet to grow the food we need.
Hello, my name is Asma Latif and I'm director of Bread for the World Institute. For this first episode of The Hunger Reports, we talked to Bill McKibben, environmental expert, author, professor, and founder of 350.org, about the connections between climate change and hunger. So what is happening with climate change, and how is it linked to hunger?
Climate change is a sort of amplifier of all the weaknesses and fractures within our world already. And it makes it much, much harder to cope with what are already very difficult problems. The most fundamental human needs, food, water, are now at risk in a way that they've never been at risk before.
The impact that natural disasters and the changing weather can have on farmers in Africa, Central America, and even California can be quite devastating.
The way to think about it is that climate change, it's as if the poor countries of the world were walking on a treadmill and trying to get somewhere. And climate change, it's as if someone walked to the front of the treadmill and doubled its speed and put it up at a 7-degree angle, you know.
When the bread baskets of countries become unproductive, violent conflict can easily flare up.
That's what's happening in Syria and Sudan and the Somaliland. That's what's happening increasingly in parts of North America as it just gets too hot and too dry to grow the food we need.
We can also expect mass migration as people move in search of more livable conditions.
Climate refugees will be, sadly, a prominent feature of this century. They already are. People don't leave home lightly. People like where they were born and where they understand and know. But people leave when they have to. If war makes it too dangerous to live there, or if drought or flood makes it impossible to grow food there to feed your family, then people will move. And when people move, then follows all the devils of instability.
Climate change and the challenges it brings are no small hurdle to ending hunger by 2030. We do, however, have the knowledge to do something about it. It starts with upholding international agreements to reduce carbon emissions and greenhouse gases. It continues with disaster risk reduction and climate adaptation programs for farmers and fisherfolk. So with all this in mind, do you still think we can reach the goal of 2030?
I mean, maybe it's possible, but it's not feasible.
13 years from now, world hunger. Probably not. Probably not.
We'll see. I'm optimistic.
The civil society and the populations in general, plus the governments and the private sector all together, we can work out this problem, and I think, yeah, it's possible.
Our last interviewee must have read the 2017 Hunger Report, because although climate change poses incredible challenges to ending hunger by 2030, there is a lot that we know and a lot we can do. To learn more about what can be done, pick up a copy of the 2017 Hunger Report, Fragile Environments, Resilient Communities.